PizzlesTechTime, back again with another video. And today we're going to be looking at the 970 Pro by Samsung. So what this is non-volatile memory express M.2 form factor. So this is a M.2 hard drive, meaning it's about the size of a stick of gum and it goes directly into your motherboard. The interface is non-volatile memory express. That means that this SSD will communicate directly to your CPU and it'll bypass SATA because SATA is stuck at 6 gigabytes per second. It won't get any faster than that, and that's the maximum speed. This is a lot faster. So the instructions right here will actually let you know what the difference is between NVMe SATA M.2 and NVMe M.2. So you'll see there's a little bit of a difference. This is 5 pins wide, and this is 6 pins wide and 5 pins wide. So that's going to be the difference between those two. So SATA M.2 and NVMe M.2 are two different interfaces, but they both go in the M.2 slot on your motherboard. Okay guys, Camilla's coming here for a second. Now, who needs an NVMe M.2 drive? Content creators, anybody with a build over $1,000, I would definitely suggest getting an NVMe SSD. And the reason for that is because you're not going to be bottlenecked by your SSD. If you're a content creator and you're editing 4K videos, 2K videos, you might want to consider getting yourself an NVMe M.2. And in this video, I'm just going to go over and show you what the SSD looks like and maybe talk about it a little bit. I'm not going to go in depth into it. Really, all you have to do is input it into the motherboard and then install Samsung Magician. So it's super simple, guys. This is even easier than installing a regular hard drive. It requires no wires, no power cables, no SATA cables. It requires basically just unscrewing one screw, sticking it in at an angle, pressing it down, and screwing it in. It's so simple, guys. So really anyone can install this SSD, and it's going to give you so much more performance than a regular SSD. Now, I run both in my computer. I have an NVMe SSD as well as a SATA SSD. I spend the big money on the NVMe drives that are used for video rendering in my boot drive. And then I bought a 1 terabyte WD Blue to store my videos once I'm finished. The computer boots up insanely fast, loads up games, apps extremely fast. Now, the main difference, if you're looking at this and you see it really cheap, that could be because it's the 860 Pro, or it could be that it's just the 860 EVO or the 970 EVO. Now, the difference between the EVO and the Pro is one thing. It has a cache. The 512 gigabyte version doesn't have that large of a cache. I believe it's 25 gigabytes. So once you're transferring a file or writing a file over 25 gigabytes, you're going to slow down the SSD tremendously. Now, the 1 terabyte has doubled that. So if you're getting a 1 terabyte, you may not need the Pro.
This is the fastest technology that's out right now for hard drives. If you're building a new computer in 2018, you might want to use NVMe M.2. This is non-volatile memory express. This kind of goes right by SATA, so you're not limited by 6 gigabit per second, which is the current limits of SATA. I'm going to use this for a video render drive because it's only 512 gigabytes. It's $200, but I got it on sale for Black Friday, so I only paid $177. Inside we have the NVMe drive. So you see the form factor of the drive. You stick this side in first, and then you're going to get one of your M.2 screws and you're going to screw it in. So hopefully your motherboard has a few extra M.2 screws. I'm going to have to check on that. So you should check your motherboard and make sure that it comes with another M.2 screw to screw this in. Unfortunately, they will not give you one. Okay, here's the NVMe drive. And as you can see, it's very delicate. Just a little tiny little SSD. And it's protected from the sticker right here for all of the components, the VNAND flash. And this is where it's going to communicate with the motherboard right here. And then the back of it just says NVMe Express. So I'm going to try to input this in my motherboard and start up the computer. If you do buy this SSD, you are going to want to download Samsung software, which is Samsung Magician. and that's going to help you out to update the SD, get the latest drivers, and secure erase if that's what you want to do. So you can also clone your drive through Samsung software.
If you're taking files off your SD card, my SD card is under 70 gigabytes. It's a 64 gigabyte card. So if I use a 512 NVMe Evo, I would actually go over the cake just ever so slightly. And I didn't really have the money for a 2 terabyte, so I went with this one where I don't have to worry about the SLC cache or whatever you call it, cake. I don't have to worry about any cake. I can just zip right through and continue on with my workload. If you're getting the 1 terabyte 970 Evo, you may not have to get the Pro. That depends on your workload. You can look at the information and figure that out. But for my particular situation, my budget limited me, so I did go with the 512 gigabyte. And I can tell you that video rendering is a lot smoother. I still render to the SSD, the WD Blue, but working off the NVMe 970 Pro, it takes a lot of stress off my boot drive, number one, and it was getting pretty filled up. So that's why I decided to go with this, guys. If you have any questions at all, just let me know. And if you're considering buying one of these, make sure you guys use the links below. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that subscribe button, followed by the notification bell, so you'll be notified next time I drop a video. This is just a quick overview of why I purchased this SSD and a quick unboxing. So if you have any questions at all, don't be afraid to drop them down below and I'll find the answer for you. That's why I'm here, guys. So until next time, which will be next week, I'll see you later. Peace. I wish I had a better shot right here, because then you guys could see her laying here with me, but she's very adorable. So let me just... Oh shit. Oh man. Alright.
Yo, it's Greggy, back on the mic, and don't start with me, you don't wanna fight. This YouTube shit, I'll blow up like dynamite, boy. What you tryna fight, boy? You don't know me, you better subscribe quick, or I'ma hit you with a stick, and you're gonna be like, oh, snip. Yeah, that's right, oh snip, you're scared, you better subscribe, cause I have no beard. Yeah, just a few goatees.